Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Eagle Pass Sports Central Prediction Show, coming to you live on our Facebook channel and on our YouTube channel, along with my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., who's one chair over from me today, but he'll be back next to me here soon, and we've got a couple of special guests that we'll talk to here as we start the broadcast. But first, we want to thank Choche's Barbecue for their hospitality and for sponsoring the prediction shows and for having us here today. I've got the main man here to my left. Choche, this has been such a success for you in this community. People love coming here. We can see the line so strong. And we want to ask you here as we come on, talk to us a little bit about this place and a little bit about what your specials are today.
Well, just like football, I mean, I always wanted this place to be a part of this town, and just a big part of who I am and what I learned in football still is what I do here. I love this community. I love this town. I love football. I love trying to help kids. I love trying to help as many as I can. So that's what this place is, and I think people have really embraced it because they know they can come and hang out and be in a safe place, safe environment, and eat good barbecue.
The special today sounds delicious. What is it today?
Pork rib calabaza.
Wow.
Y'all are going to have the opportunity to either pick that or a nice piece of chicken. So hopefully y'all will enjoy it.
That's a tough choice. Everything here at Choche's is delicious. You should come on by. Like I said, we can see the line out there near the door.
Yeah, I got some angry people.
It is packed. So we'll let you go so that you can attend to your customers. Thank you, as always, Choche's, for having us here today. And we'll invite old habits die hard. I was going to say head coach Eric Villaseñor, athletic director for the EPISD. Eric Villaseñor now.
We had to send Choche back to work. The line's at the door.
It is, and like he said, he's got some folks waiting there, so he's going to do that. Before we continue, I do want to thank the sponsors on behalf of our partners at Universal Media Connection, Sangar Furniture, La Villita Tortilla Factory, Border Federal Credit Union, Stat Emergency, Texas Diamond Garage, Jed Harper, Attorney at Law, Saritas Tortilla Factory, Joe Ruiz and Associates, Lorena Meadows State Farm, Choche's Barbecue, United Medical Center, Los Venados, and Tabany Insurance. Now, to our athletic director for the EPISD, Eric Villaseñor. Coach, thank you as always for making the time to join us here with your coaching staff and with our very special guest who I'll let you introduce.
Yes, I want to thank Choche's Barbecue for hosting us this afternoon. It's always great to be here. Certainly always an energetic vibe and obviously some great food as well. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our head volleyball coach at Eagle Pass High School, Coach Isa Jimenez. She's going to highlight and talk about her program, our kids, and really what's coming up in the volleyball program at Eagle Pass High School.
That sounds great. We'll turn our attention here to head volleyball coach for Eagle Pass High School, Isa Jimenez. Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to the show. I understand that you are about to start district play.
Yes, we are. We are playing Medina Valley on Friday, which is tomorrow. Yes, it's our first district and our first time playing Medina Valley. We've never played them, so it's going to be a first for both teams.
That's right. We've talked about that a little bit on the show, right? Medina Valley's come into your district now.
Yes.
So that's an addition. That's important. Talk about your squad. Is it a young squad? Do you have a lot of veterans, a good mix? How do you feel about your team?
So we have a total of 15 players. 9 are non-returners. 6 are returners. We have a mixture. So we have 8 seniors. The thing is that 4 of them are returners. So I would say it's a youthful team. Coming in varsity, it's fast paced. The transition is a lot quicker. The offense. So that's what we're trying to work on this year, is definitely having the girls practice a lot of fast paced games, competition, that'll get them ready for district.
You've been the head varsity coach now 9 years.
This is my 9th year, yes.
And so this is a program that, while sometimes maybe the spotlight hasn't always precisely been on it, but it's been a successful program over the years. It's one that's really carried the torch for Eagle Pass High School well under previous head coaches and certainly under you. Talk about a little bit about what that means, the tradition of playing volleyball at that level at Eagle Pass High School.
So I was a volleyball player in high school, and yeah, it's definitely times are changing, so it's definitely I'm seeing like the youth are really wanting to play the game of volleyball, and it's so fast paced now. So I enjoy that where I see girls where they're competing and they're the love for it. It's amazing to watch because when I was little, I looked up to these girls, and then when I became a coach, you see the little ones looking up to the varsity. So it's just an awesome experience to see.
Do you have a good pipeline of players coming in? I noticed something that, again, we weren't used to seeing a long time ago in Eagle Pass, but some traveling teams, right? Some parks and recreation teams, City of Eagle Pass, things like that. How does that help you once they get to you?
Oh, it definitely helps. There was a period where there wasn't any club volleyballs, but now that I'm seeing, I actually worked with a lot of the girls in the summer. Fifth, sixth graders, a lot of club teams are going to Laredo, San Antonio. So it is definitely going to help the program in years to come.
Sounds
sure.
good. Coach, district season kicks off tomorrow. Is that a game here in Eagle
Medina
Pass?
Valley.
You'll be in Medina Valley.
Yes.
You play each of your teams twice during the season. So this is a kickoff for them. What's the message to your team as we get into district play?
The message here is, and what I've been stressing a lot to the girls is, play with passion. You came to volleyball for a reason. There was a love that you have. And when you're on that court, you just have to let that fire come out, because most of the times a lot of the girls are scared to timid on a varsity level, and they're like, oh my God, am I going to mess up? But I always tell them and stress that it's okay to mess up. We're going to fail at times. It's how we come out of this that's going to help us succeed in the long run.
That's important. That's what builds character. We talk about it all the time in the context of football, but I'm very glad you brought it up in the context of all these other sports that these young ladies are playing in order to make them leaders and better people. You want to invite the folks that are watching us today to your district season. You play most of these games at the SAC?
No, so this year we are playing all of our games, our home games, at Eagle Pass High School.
That's good to know. So, folks, if you want to see some good volleyball, come by Eagle Pass High School. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow they're in Medina Valley. But throughout the season, we'll keep you updated. And our athletic director, Eric Villaseñor, will keep you updated on the goings-on on all the sports at Eagle Pass Independent School District. Coach Jimenez, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck to you throughout the season. Take care. We'll bring Morris back into the chair here. And we'll bring the coaches, head coaches here, so that we can talk to them. Have head coach Roger Olivas and head coach Rene Ramirez join us here at the table. Tomorrow, by the way, we will be broadcasting the game in San Antonio, Mavericks against the Southwest Legacy Titans. Eagles have an off week this week. We'll talk about that here with the coaches in a minute. But first, Morris, I'll have you speak with Coach Roger Olivas about the action we saw here on Sports Central last week.
Coach, we went up and we did your game. We were. I have to agree. I have to tell you that we were a little concerned as to how that game started.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I think there's a lot to say about your team, about our team, the way that they responded to adversity to start that game.
Morris, we lost to TAF 4 years ago or 5 years ago in the playoffs. One of the things that we said back then is we want to play fast teams. So we scrimmage Marshall. We've been scrimmaging Marshall the last 4 years. We want to play up with speed, and being in the north side, we were playing north side in the first round of the playoffs. So, we had to match their speed. So, I think our boys are confident they can play with Northside schools because we scrimmage them, we do well against them, and they're not fazed by who they play.
Well, when you go, I know that you have this year a young ball club. You lost a lot of seniors,
39 seniors,
and sometimes your players that come up don't go get an opportunity. I know we play at our stadium, but when you go to Farris and you're on, I like to say, foreign turf, sometimes that's a little, it takes some adjusting to that.
And I'm glad you brought that up. We scrimmaged Marshall at Farris.
Oh, okay.
So, we played last year against Harlan at Farris. So, the boys going up there, like we told them last year, we came, and we played Harlan, but we didn't win. I go, this time we came to win, and the boys bought into that. They practiced really hard all week. They knew what they were up against, and Friday night showed how well they prepared.
Well, we're going to go ahead and bring in both your offensive and defensive coordinators. I know we're going to bring you back, though, and talk a little bit about how you're going to handle open week. Well, it's never an open week. Come on, Coach. My lens may not be that wide here.
How are you, sir?
I am good. Tell us a little bit about the game against Taft and how what was your reaction to the start of that game, and what did you say to your defense?
Well, first off, we were all week. We just kept saying, "You can play with these guys. You can play with these guys. Just believe in what we're doing, believe in the plan." And then we came out and we had a mishap on special teams, and they scored, and we got hit in the mouth. But I loved our reaction. Our kids came out. We came out and scored in a 6-play drive, and Pepe Hernandez made some special plays, and that kind of got us back in the rhythm. And our kids, I think once we got back in that rhythm, our kids figured out, hey, we can play with these guys, and we kept going.
Well, you get a game like that under your belt. It's of course the first the game where you travel. What do you look at as the defensive coordinator as to making adjustments? I know you make adjustments all through the game, especially at halftime. But
I'm the offensive coordinator.
Oh, offensive coordinator. I'm sorry.
You're good. But throughout the game, like they made a lot of adjustments as to our receivers. So we're just talking about what are our best plays, who's having a good game, who has a hot hand. We're trying to get them the ball up front. It's adjustments pretty much every play on who's missing assignments, who's doing their job, things like that. But I just love our kids' resolve no matter what we threw at them. Like at the end, we added that quarterback run play in the huddle, and Javi Barrera kind of put a cape on and led us all the way down in the last drive.
I have to mention that, and I think we have to bring it up. There toward the end of the game, Javi Barrera really came up with some good runs. Very poised there toward the end of the game.
So Luis Flores was having an amazing game, and he got his eye poked, so he got taken out. It was a real bad eye poke. He ended up in the ER, but he's doing fine now. So we had to find a way to get our run game going because we need to milk the clock, and we just gave it to Javi, and he had an amazing drive. We ran that ball 11-play drive to end the game, and he ran it 10 times. So he had an amazing game. He showed a lot of heart, showed a lot of character, and he pretty much won us that game there at the end.
Earlier in the game, the great catch over the middle that, we were up in the press box with that at a very critical time, with defenders all around him, just an outstanding catch. And we were commenting that, if you throw a ball near him, he's going to catch it, I think.
Yes, sir. And he always tells us, Coach, I'm open. And
well, he's not.
And we always tell Javi, just give him a chance. If you feel if it's a one-on-one, he's probably a 70-30 guy going to come down with it. So that was in our game plan. They're going to go man, and we'll see if they can hang with Pepe and Sebas, and our guys make plays.
Well, there you have it. What are you looking forward to, or hold on, one more question for you. They call it an open weekend. It's really never an open weekend.
No, sir.
I know you've got a full schedule of what you need to work on, especially give you some time for some of your players that may have been banged up.
Yeah, so this week's really about getting healthy and getting back to our basics. Once you get into a game week, you don't have a lot of time to do a lot of drills because you're focusing on the game plan. So it's really getting back to our stuff, our fundamentals, and just focusing on us for a little bit. We introduced Canyon a little bit, but it was really focusing on us.
Well, we're going to get over to Ricky, and I'm going to get this right. I think Ricky's
Yes,
the
sir.
offensive coordinator, right?
Defensive coordinator.
Defensive coordinator.
Yes, sir. Defensive coordinator.
You know, question for you.
Yes, sir.
The way that game started, uh, they score on. They
10 seconds.
recover the ball, and then on the first play, well, they score. What's going through your mind when something like that happens?
Through my mind, I'm thinking we weren't ready. Our alignment, our assignment, we weren't ready to play. Like we were stunned. We had a fumble and we called defense in. They just went in there. We did slant to the right side or where what the strong side was. So something we tell them, and we're always going to say this: forget about it, move on, mindset, get ready for the next series. That's what we dwell on. We got to calm down, relax, play the game, and it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So there's going to be more series coming. So
Later in the game, especially the second half, when Taft came back, got the score really close. That's when really your defense really builds character.
yes, sir. They were in the red zone twice, and my Mike linebacker Luis Velasquez made 2 game changers right there on 4th down and 2. He stopped them for a gain of 1 yard, and then again on 3rd down we made them kick a field goal, which was crucial. Instead of scoring a touchdown, they kicked the field goal.
That was huge.
That was huge. That was a big plus for us.
Well, there you have it. I know you are also on not having a game this coming week. You've got things you've got to work on.
We installed new stuff, and like we say, like Coach Olivas and I say, like we got to keep it simple. They got to play fast. We can't make it complicated on them. So we're installing little wrinkles here and there, but we're gonna play even football and we're gonna get after it.
What you're trying to tell us is that you haven't showed us everything that's coming.
No, not everything.
Well, there you have it. We're going to bring Coach Olivas back in to finish up our Eagles part of the broadcast. Coach, your final thoughts after your game?
Our boys are not fazed by anybody, Morris. I think, Canyon is going to be another challenge. Taft was in the top 7 teams in San Antonio. I think Canyon should be in the top 4 probably in San Antonio right now. So, they're big, they're fast. We're going to go scout them on Friday, get a closer look. I can tell you that our boys right now, we're taking care of grades. We're working on our fundamentals still, and we'll be ready for Canyon next week.
Well, there you have it. And I know you're going to work hard this coming week, and prepare for your next game.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ruben, bring us over and over to the Maverick side, and let's talk to Coach Rene Ramirez.
Head coach Rene Ramirez, your team traveled up to Uvalde last week, and we got to talk about it, right? That's after a tough first week, a tough start to the season.
Yes, sir.
I think your boys really bounced back.
Absolutely.
I mean, maybe it's not a W in the column,
Right.
but they showed some heart this
sir,
past
they did.
week.
Yes, sir, they did.
Especially after a rough start, to show up. As Morris mentioned, in unfriendly confines because you're away from home, right? And then to put up the effort they did, I thought they did a great job.
Absolutely, we totally agree. That was a challenge throughout the week, and certainly not to say the least. They did grow. Okay, they stepped up our game. Unfortunately, we had some costly errors, a couple of mental breakdowns, a couple of plays that kind of turned the whole game around. But nonetheless, proud of our boys and their effort. We challenged them throughout the game as well. They fought hard for 48 minutes, and we couldn't be any prouder.
That's great. Talk to us a little bit about some of the standouts on both sides of the ball this past week.
Definitely our O-line. We asked our O-line to match the physicality. We saw them on film, and they were big, and they're big up front, especially their D-line. So we talk about matching up the physicality up front, and then our skill set, kind of opening up the passing game a little bit so that you can open up for our run game. At one point, Mr. Valadez, we had 8 sophomores on the field on offense, and particularly our skill set. We had our 3 receivers, our quarterback, and our running back were all sophomores, so it didn't phase them. So not to mention anybody in particular, but just to mention all on the offensive side, and then defensively, Jose Luis Aguilar, our middle linebacker, continues to shine. Um, Guys up front doing dirty work. Roberto Munoz, Jonathan Salayanda, our returning starter as well. So again, proud of our kids and what we've come up accomplishing so far.
The season starts for real now,
Yes,
right?
sir.
This coming week, you've got Southwest. Like it's a team you're familiar with. They've been in your district the past couple of realignments. What's the challenge in going up to San Antonio and facing a team like that and getting off on the right foot for district?
It's definitely we starts with us. It's an off the bus mentality. Okay, we're traveling a little longer, obviously, than last week. We're used to the traveling, nonetheless. Being so young, not to give them an excuse, but we have to start fast, definitely. Massive physicality again. It seems like they're similar to last week as far as size. Um, their speed, they have great team speed. So if we can do that, take good angles, sustain blocks, again, control us, limit the mistakes on all aspects, in all three phases. I think we can come out victorious with a good output. On all three phases, our special teams is doing a great job, giving us a chance, offensively, defensively, with great field position. So as long as we can do that, okay, I think our kids will be in a good situation to succeed.
That sounds good. I want to talk
Yes,
to offensive coordinator Eduardo Royce here. Have him come over next to us. Coach,
Yes, sir.
that's a pretty amazing stat that head coach René Ramirez just gave us. At one time on the field, you had 10 sophomores
That's
out
right.
on offense. You've got to orchestrate this offense, and you've got to get those kids, those young kids. I mean, it does make a difference. You know, a lot of folks don't realize that, but you're talking sophomores to seniors, sometimes 16 and 18-year-olds, right? I mean, those 2 years make a difference. What is the challenge in getting an offensive unit together like that?
Obviously, it's very important for us to understand the group that we have in place. Obviously, make no mistakes, it's a very talented group. But obviously, with young group having them on the field, you're gonna be able to learn, obviously, but also absorb some growing pains in some way, some fashion. But nevertheless, again, they're very skill set. The receivers, obviously the quarterback, like Coach Ramirez said, and we have even the O line with a couple of some more kids there. So it was a learning process. It's a learning process every week, and what we tell them and we emphasize the most is how well are we going to be able to adjust when the time comes? Because you can plan, you can scheme everything you have in place for that week against that opponent. What are you going to do, and how are you going to adjust, and how fast are you going to adjust? Because it's going to change, whether it's in the first quarter, at the end of the first quarter, halftime. And so how quickly can you adjust? And that comes with maturity.
Absolutely. What worked for you offensively this past week?
This week we were able to adjust very well with the O line. We feel that the O line grew from week one against Eagle Pass Eagles, and then against Uvalde. So we got exposed with tremendous speed week one against Eagle Pass. So that helped us. Anytime you play a tough opponent, you get exposed, but at the same time you learn, and that's part of the learning process throughout the weeks. Or like Coach Ramirez mentioned, we had 175 passing yards, credit to the O line. We had over 125 yards rushing yards. Brian Lels did a tremendous job, almost 100 yards rushing for that night. It was just being efficient at certain particular plays. A fumble inside the 30 that cost us after a 50-yard drive. Then we go back after the second half, and then we get another fumble in the middle of the field that they took it, back and score. You take away those mistakes, and like we emphasize, we had 8 penalties for 80 yards. We got to minimize, and we got to really clean up that area, that compartment, because it's going to help us. Especially when we're young, we got to make sure that we emphasize and don't assume anything as coaches.
Looking ahead now to tomorrow, we're going to be up in San Antonio against Southwest Legacy, a team that, as we know, that district is going through what our district went to a long time ago, right? Where Southwest and Legacy kind of split, left two schools. But defensively, what do they bring to the table, and what is your game plan to attack that?
Southwest Legacy, they have 6 seniors, 5 juniors on the field. 9 out of the 11, they're all returning starters, returning experienced guys from last year. So, and they have Alex Nisica, number 61, defensive tackle, and number 8, Eli Sanchez, and number 22, middle linebackers, Jose Mancillanas. Those 3 guys are the guys that are going to make the defense go. Obviously, it's a team effort, all 11 guys, but we expect a lot of heavy box, a lot of speed coming through. Disguise the blitz, disguise pressure, so they can create some chaos. Obviously, in our end, we have to make sure that we stay with the scheme, attack the techniques that they're giving us according to our plan. The run plays that we want to do, obviously, open it up somewhat with our passing game, which we're growing a lot and being confident in that. So we need to make sure that we kind of complement our run with our pass play and our pass play with a run. I really, at the end of the day, take care of football fundamentals. Take care of the football, extend drives, keep our offense marching down, and hopefully we can get some points early in the games where it create confidence for us.
Coach, thank you so much for your time. I want to bring
Yes, sir.
our defensive coordinator in now. Co-defensive coordinator.
How you doing,
Coach Hoffman, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
Good. Thank you. Talk to us, same thing, a little bit about what your defense showed this past week against Uvalde.
We believe that our defense showed a lot of grit. Like, they're young, a little bit inexperienced, but we can't use that as an excuse all the time. So they're getting their feet wet for the first time, and we made some mistakes, like Coach Ramirez mentioned right now, a couple of penalties that cost us at extended drives, and that we could have been 3 and outs. But we told the kids in halftime, hey, let's review, let's adjust, and we didn't allow any points in the second half. So those are the positives that we were really stressing to our kids, and they showed up, man. They don't give up. We got hard blue collar kids, and that's something that us as coaches we can't ask for. And the learning pains are learning pains, and we're gonna get through that pretty soon.
Offensively, tomorrow, what is Southwest Legacy bringing in that you have to take care of?
Experience, and we felt like we played against the same skill guys the last 3 years because they went through those growing pains 3 years ago. They were Southwest themselves, but running back number 1, the best receivers number 2, those individuals, athletic kids, fast. Their line is very aggressive, so they're gonna go second level quick. So it's on us to match the aggressiveness, So we're working on that, and our kids, they bounce back well, and they're not giving up, man. And they're great learners. They ask questions. They're great students of the game, and they seem to be asking the right questions, and hopefully we have the right game plan, and we feel like we do have the right game plan.
Thank you so much, Coach. We appreciate your time. Want to bring back head coach Rene Ramirez now. Coach, your final comments about this game coming up tomorrow against Southwest Legacy.
Again, the start of a new season, district play, as we mentioned to our kids, and obviously they're well aware of that. So, again, we're excited for the opportunity. We're traveling over there. It's a 7:30 kickoff. Those kickoff times have changed this year or the next upcoming years. So, we're excited. Wish safe travels to our faithfuls, our traveling. And come up with a big win, not only for us, but for our kids, but for our community. And again, like we mentioned, for district play, everybody's 0-0 in district, so everybody's on the same common goal, and we're excited for the opportunity. We want to thank Choche and the Flores family for the opportunity here, for the hospitality. Congratulations again to Eagle Pass Eagles last week. And we do want to wish our quarterback Juan Cruz. Today is his birthday, and our middle linebacker Jose Luis Aguilar. It's their birthday as well. So
happy birthday to
those young men.
Happy birthday to those guys. Absolutely, to your standouts there. So good. Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck tomorrow. Also, we will be up there. Eagle Pass Sports Central will be up there at the field at Southwest Legacy for coverage of that game. And Morris, it is time for some predictions.
Well, I don't know about you guys. We're so topsy-turvy. Everybody's really working to buy all those pancakes. At the end of our prediction season. But what can I say? I went 9-1, and if I hadn't picked Pearsall, for respect for Coach Graff, I'd have had probably one of the first 10-0 deals here. But it's really none of us really did well with Pearsall. The rest of us did fairly decent, except for the guys that picked Colorado. The Cowboys were good as gold. And UTSA, was really – Texas State has never beaten UTSA until this past weekend. So that was a huge one. But Coach Eric went 8-2. I went 9-1. Coach Roger 6-4, and Ruben, you and Coach Ramirez are 5-5. And so now in the lead is myself and Eric, followed by Ruben, then Roger, and then Rene. But of course, this is a brand new week.
Yes, sir.
And we're getting ready to go here.
It's a brand new chance to get things wrong.
A brand new chance to improve. So San Antonio Piper and San Antonio Davenport. Coach Eric. Piper. I will take Piper. Coach Roger. Piper. And Ruben.
I'll take Piper.
Piper. Rene. Piper. Far San Juan Alamo and Mission Veterans Memorial. Eric. PSJ. I'll take PSJ. Roger.
PSJ.
Obviously not very good games here. Ruben.
Yeah, PSGA. I got to go with them there.
And Coach Ramirez.
PSJ as well.
Jordanton and Pleasanton. I tell you what, I'm going to let Coach Ramirez go first this time.
Pleasanton.
Pleasanton and Ruben.
I'll take Pleasanton too.
Pleasanton. Roger.
I'll take Jordanton.
Jordanton. I'll take Jordanton and Eric. Pleasanton. Humble Atascocita and Austin Westlake. Eric. Westlake. And I'll take Westlake and Roger. Humble. And Ruben.
I'll take Westlake.
And Rene.
Westlake.
Bernie Champion and Laredo Alexander. Eric. Bernie Champion. I'll take Bernie Champion. Roger.
Bernie Champion.
Ruben.
Bernie Champion.
And Rene.
Champion.
Sotomayor and Brennan. Brennan made a good comeback last week. So, Eric. Brennan. I'll take Brennan. Roger.
Brennan.
Ruben.
I'll take Sotomayor for the upset there. It's my upset pick of the week.
You've been talking to Coach Mo. And Rene. Brennan. Get into the college ranks. You'll love this one, Ruben. Hey, your little kitty cats. They really improved in the standings there in the polls, huh?
Top 6.
Boston College and Missouri. Eric. Mizzou. And I'll take Missouri. Roger.
Missouri.
And Ruben.
I'll take Missouri, obviously.
I don't even have to ask you, right? Rene.
Missouri.
LSU and South Carolina. Eric.
LSU.
And I'll take LSU. Roger.
LSU.
And Ruben.
This will be my second upset pick of the week. I'm going to take South Carolina here.
Oh, my gosh.
They beat up Kentucky last week pretty good. Nobody expected them.
You really want to hit bottom here. Rene. LSU. Texas A&M and Florida. Heck, I don't know if Texas A&M has found a quarterback yet. Eric.
A&M.
Wow. I'll take A&M and Roger.
I'm going to take A&M as well.
A&M and Ruben.
I'll take A&M too.
And Coach Ramirez.
Florida.
I knew it there. Well, Saints and Cowboys. Eric. Cowboys. I'll take the Cowboys. Roger. Cowboys and Ruben.
Cowboys.
Rene.
Dallas. Cowboys, yes, sir.
All right. Well, that's going to be it. Take us home, Ruben.
We want to thank Choche again for his hospitality and for the delicious food here today as the lunch rush is clearing through. They still have plenty of good food. Come on down to Choche's. Of course, the bar is open in the evenings. Come on by and visit Choche's. Tell them we sent you. On behalf of our partners at Universal Media Connections, we want to thank their sponsors, Sangar Furniture, La Villita, Tortilla Factory, Border Federal Credit Union, Texas Diamond Garage, Stat Emergency, Jet Harper Attorney at Law, Sarita Tortilla Factory, Joe Ruiz and Associates, Lorena Melo State Farm, Choche's Barbecue, United Medical Centers, Los Venados, and Tabany Insurance. On behalf of my broadcasting partner, Morris Lipson Jr., my name is Ruben Valadez. Join us tomorrow evening. Kickoff is 7:30 up at Southwest Legacy. The Mavericks will be up there playing. Our final thanks to Choche's for everything they've done for us here today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.